When we look at some of the key figures throughout history, it is not hard to realize that they are often the product of great mentors. Muhammad Gandhi was a mentor of Nelson Mandela, and Bill Gates followed in the footsteps of Warren Buffett. This important relationship, mentoring, is not foreign to some of the spiritual leaders we identify in Christian culture. Timothy was mentored by Paul. Naomi took it upon herself to mentor Ruth. And above all, Jesus mentored the disciples, showing them how to love one another best. It is important to identify the inner workings of a spiritual community. We can look at small groups, prayer circles, and mentorships. Mentorships are the one-on-one relationships that build accountability, identify areas of growth, as well as identify areas in need of refinement that otherwise might go uncovered. Mentorship should also build a culture of leadership, as well as build a culture of finding similar goals that need to be reached and practiced by a community. Today, we will look at we will look at qualities of good mentorships, as well as what good mentorships breed. Mentors need to be great listeners. The key function of mentors is to take the struggles and problems and create a plan to overcome these problems in order to help a mentoree grow closer to Christ. Because each individual is different and each individual has different problems, selfless listening is important in a mentor. Without this type of listening, a mentoree feels left without the resources to make the improvement that they want to make. A mentor should also hold themselves accountable. Follow through is very important in their instruction. Their advice should also be practical enough so that they can follow it in order to be the city on a hill that Christ identifies in the gospel. Mentors should also be vulnerable. They should be able to create a space of trust. And if it's applicable, they should be able to relate the struggles that a mentoree is going to struggles that they might have had earlier in their lives. Christians often don't realize that the problems they are going through are similar to problems that other Christians have. A mentor should be able to give advice based on advice that they were given when they were mentorees. Some of the results that a healthy mentorship should breed is habits, refinement, and continuation. The habits that they should create is regular prayer and regular time in Scripture. Because this is the foundation of so many other groups inside the community, such as prayer groups and small groups, a mentorship should follow suit and realize that daily time in Scripture and daily time in prayer is very important. They should also feel willing to meet with one another often. If a mentorship is built on a foundation of being scared to be open with one another and avoiding one another, making it feel like a chore, it is likely that a mentor will not continue to have the drive that they need to have in order to make the spiritual growth that they want to make at the beginning of the mentorship. There should also be a culture of continual refinement, an atmosphere of continual openness to improvement, as well as progressive check-ins, so that the time away from the mentorship should identify both the roses and the thorns of a spiritual journey. Because most of the time is spent away from the mentorship, it is important that these progressive check-ins identify how they can better love Christ and how the mentor can help identify ways to do this. There should also be a culture of continuation in a mentorship. Sean Blanchard from the University of Michigan, who studies leadership, says that 90% of mentored people go on to mentor somebody else. The mentorship should build a culture of leadership that gets passed down and creates a larger culture of self-refinement as well as group refinement. It is easy for Christians to feel alone in the struggles of their sin, but an open, trusting relationship can create improvement in their lives, as well as a community of goal-seeking that points one another towards Christ. Paul identifies this relationship best in 1 Thessalonians, saying, "Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just in fact as you are doing." Thank you.